Good afternoon, children. So last class we have studied about chemical properties of metals. Then we studied about the how all these metals will react with the different chemicals that we have studied. Then I have started about the metallurgic process. So we have finished ionic bond, ionic compounds and all. So I have started the metallurgy. So metallurgy is a art of extraction of metal from its ore. Ore also I told you. Ore is a mineral or a compound in which metal can be extracted. So before the extraction of the metal, I told you, so there will be impurities called as gangue that will be removed by some easy methods, or can say that mechanical methods. By mechanical method, they remove the easily washable impurities or easily removable impurities from the ore. That is the first thing. That process is called as concentration of ore. So it is enhancement of the ore from the enhancement of the minerals present in the ore. Will remove all the impurities and will increase in the concentration of ore. That process is called as concentration of ore. After the concentration, depending on the type of ore, we select the method. I told you there are three types of ore: sulfide ores, in which sulfide is present, sulfur is present; carbonate ore, in which carbonates are present; then oxide ore, in which oxygen is present. If you take many oxide ores are available, similarly carbonates ores are available. More of oxide ores are available. If you take hematite, magnetite, bauxite, uh, cinnabar. If you take many of they are available in the form, oxide form, sulfide form, and carbonate form. So from that it is extracted. If you take, I told you the reactivity series. In the reactivity series, there are some elements which are called as highly reactive element, low reactive element, middle reactive element. Like this, they are divided. So on that basis, we'll select the process, uh, different methods. For sulfide ores, if we take sulfide ores, we go for roasting method. Roasting method. For carbonate ore, we go for calcination method. Calcination method. So for highly reactive element, if you take, we go for electrolysis method. Electrolysis method. For low reactive metals, if you take, we go for the roasting method. Like this, there are different methods. So we'll see one by one. The first, we'll understand what is roasting. Or simply can call roasting. What is roasting? So roasting is a, say, heating the metal ores, or you can call it as sulfide ores or metal ores, sulfide ores in the presence of oxygen, in the presence of oxygen below its melting point. Below its melting point. So this is called as roasting. See here, roasting. See, if you take sulfide ores, if you take copper sulfide is there, or mercury sulfide is there. Here, what happens is, see, this is copper oxide. We heat this ore, sulfide ore, yes. Cu2. Sulfide ore. So sulfide ore will heat it. So it forms. Oxide is formed. Copper oxide is formed. Sulfur dioxide is liberated. Say sulfur. Here, actually sulfur we don't want. So we have to remove the sulfur. Sulfur is removed by adding oxygen, oxidation, roasting. So here the metal ore or the sulfide ore is heated in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, below its melting point. Below its melting point. Below its melting point. Why below its melting point? Because if it melts, if it is heated above the melting point, the copper also melts over there. That's why. So here copper is separated first. Then you go for different methods. So that's why below melting point. Then copper oxide. So why? So copper oxide. It is turned to copper oxide now. Now copper oxide. Here we go for methods like reducing. We use any reducing agent over here. We use reducing. Here carbon is a reducing agent. Carbon is a reducing agent we use over here. Carbon is a reducing agent we use here. Here carbon reacts with oxygen. Oxidation happens and copper will be reduced. Copper will be reduced and it forms carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Or carbon monoxide also can be formed depending on the presence of oxygen if you take. So this is the copper is separated like this. Copper is separated. This is roasting method. Or you can just copper oxide is heated. Can be heated. We heat this. Heat when we heat this, it becomes copper and oxygen. This method also can be used if you take. So depending on the different methods we go for. Go. If we take mercuric oxide, Hg, yes. So here also we go for same method here. What happened is this is in the presence of oxygen it is heated. When I heat it, it becomes HgO plus SO2. Here sulfur is removed. Sulfur is removed. Then HgO is heated and we get Hg plus O2. So same reaction this is. So here see, mercury is available now. So mercury is in its purest form. So this is the roasting method. Roasting method we use. This usually I told you for low reactive metals we use this method. So this is there in the textbook. Go through the textbook. So our PDF notes, whatever it is. Then calcination. So calcination method. So calcination is one of the method. Here what happened is here usually this method is choose for carbonate ores. Carbonate ores we use this method. We use this method. So here this is the process of heating the carbonate ore or metal ore in the absence of oxygen below its melting point. Below its melting point. Below its melting point, it is heated. So you take zinc carbonate. Any carbonate you take, zinc carbonate. It is heated. It is heated. You provide heat and form zinc oxide plus CO2 is formed. This is the reaction. Then ZNO. Here again we use coke or any reducing agent. Any reducing agent is used to remove reduce the zinc. Here carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and zinc is separated. So here see we get here zinc. So zinc is a monoatomic. That's why we don't write H2 like Zn2 or. So some of you have habit of writing like this. Avoid this. So here metals are not diatomic. Metals are always we represent in monatomic state. Zn2 cannot be written here. So this is called as calcination. This is called as calcination. I hope you are getting my point. So very important concept of this metallurgic part. So calcination and roasting. This can be given as difference between. Here actually, after the concentration of ore, this method is used depending on the types of ore. What type of ore we are extracting or what type of metal we are extracting. On that basis, we choose the method, calcination method, roasting method. So we have in a higher classes you will learn some other methods. So purest. So in purest form we get some metal. We want some metals. For that separate methods will be there. So we'll go through that. One more method is that we'll see. So here reducing agents. See here oxide. So in the oxide form it is very easy. In oxide form it is very easy to remove the or extract the metal from its ore. In oxide form. If you take say like if I give an example like aluminum oxide or Fe2O3 hematite. I hope you are able to see this. I have written at the top here two words I have written. If you are not able to see it, I am telling you. Al2O3. One more word is Fe2O3. This is Fe2O3 is hematite, and this is bauxite or aluminum. Aluminite is called. See, these two are the oxide words. If you take here, somewhat this method, this reducing method is used in the last step. If you take. So for this see, being oxide, we cannot go for this method here. Reducing method, we cannot go for this aluminum oxide. Try to understand what I am telling. So for some metal we go through this method. For some metals we go for some other method like aluminum oxide. Aluminum is a highly reactive metal. So it is a highly reactive metal if you take. So that cannot be done with the same methods if you take. So that is because of this aluminum metal, depending on the metal. If you take Fe2O3, same method cannot be used here. Same method. So some are different methods if we use. Blast furnace method is here. Blast furnace method is here. Here also heating only. Here also we are heating, but in a different procedure. So there are different methods. It is a common method. If you take calcination, we go for carbonate. Sulfide ore is there, we go for roasting method. But finally, we have to go for some commonly we go for this reducing the agent method for the purification. So this is the method we adopt for given ore. So depending on the type of metal that we are extracting, on that basis we will select the different methods. I hope you have understood the concept. If you don't understand anything in between, just ask the question. So if you have any doubt regarding this, what is taught just now, you can ask the questions. So I hope anybody is not having any sort of doubt. So we'll move to the next, that is electrolysis method. So some of the like highly reactive elements, if you take, we go for electrolysis method. So what is electrolysis? I told you, decomposition of compound by using electricity in aqueous state. In aqueous state is called as electrolysis. Simply you can tell, by passing electricity, we are just breaking the compound into their or extracting the metal from its ore. If you take sodium chloride, so we know it already. Chloralkali process, we know it. So chloralkali process, we use electrolysis method over there. There the electricity is passed in brine solution. Brine solution is nothing but NaCl. NaCl is one of the mineral or salt which contains sodium. The sodium can be extracted from NaCl by using electrolysis method. Electrolytic cell is used during this method. Maybe some of you having the, don't confuse it. See, electrodes which are used in electrolysis process, they are different and cations are different. Don't club it. Don't club it. Say some of the highly reactive metals like sodium, potassium, aluminum, they are separated from its minerals by electrolysis method here. So example, NaCl, extraction of sodium from NaCl. The same as chloralkali process method, NaCl. See here, this is the electrolytic cell we use. In this we have taken aqueous solution of NaCl. So two electrodes we use. This is positive, this is negative. So the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal is called as cathode. Electrode which is connected to the positive terminal. This is the electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Then it's called as anode. So same as the chloralkali process. So here what happens? NaCl, when electricity is passed through this, I told you, electrochemical decomposition. This is the example for electrochemical decomposition, type of reaction, a type of decomposition reaction. You have studied in the first chapter, type of decomposition reaction. Photochemical reaction, thermal decomposition, then electrochemical decomposition. Here, when electricity is passed, so what happens? Na plus Cl minus it happens. So this is cation. Sodium is a cation. So being a cation, it moves towards the negative terminal. It goes on collecting on the negative. Chlorine goes on collecting in the anode. So here what happens? Here, I'll tell you. Like sodium, if you take sodium and chlorine, when it bonds together, so this is plus, this is minus. So NaCl is formed. How it is formed? Because sodium is donating one electron to this and the chlorine is accepting. Here again it breaks. Ion. Sodium ion is that it takes the electron back. So this is, see, this is negative, this is positive. This is the electron rich area. This cathode is electron rich area. This anode is electron deficient area. So here what happens? The sodium cation has given the electron. It takes back, it goes to the cathode and it gains the electron. It gains the electron and becomes sodium atom. See, sodium, we get sodium now. In the pure form, we get sodium. This sodium can be used for the preparation, sodium metals. In the laboratory, we use the sodium metals for that we use it, or to make a preparation of NaOH base. For that it is used. Like that it is used. It is in the anode side what happens? So it say it is minus. Minus means it has taken chlorine has taken the electron. When it goes to this anode, it gives back electron. Whatever the electron is taken, that is it gives back, and it becomes a chlorine atom. Here, it gives back electron is negative means it gives back the electron and becomes. Then later on chlorine bonds with another chlorine to form Cl2. So Cl, if you are not able to see it down what I have written, so try to understand. Cl. So Cl forms here. Here two due to this covalent bond, it reacts with one more chlorine and forms Cl2. Cl2. This is how the metals can be extracted. Highly reactive metals. Like aluminium. Aluminium maybe this method is used. For some highly reactive metals like potassium, that's this method is used. I hope you are getting my point. So this is how the electrolysis happens. Electrolysis happens. Cation move towards the cathode, and anion move towards the anode. Here electrons. So sodium gets the electron back and becomes an atom. Similarly, chlorine gives up the electrons. Whatever it was gained when during the bonding to form NaCl, it gives back the electron and becomes Cl2. Cl2 it happens. It is collected in the anode side. Anode side if you take. Sodium is collected as a metal in solid form. It is collected and it is separated. This is how the process is done. Electrolysis process for highly reactive elements. So if you have any doubt in this electrolysis, please ask. If you are not understand the chloralkali process, I hope you are understanding now chloralkali process. Same method it is. There also we use NaCl. Here also we are using NaCl. NaCl is breaking and forming sodium atom. Sodium ion, sodium it is converted to sodium atom. Chlorine ion, it is converted to chlorine molecule. This is how it is done. So if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask now. Otherwise, we will move to the next concept of the lesson, that is electrolytic refining of copper. Electrolytic refining of copper. So one more, I told you, one more method is there. Like for this method, it can be used for aluminum also, aluminum oxide. Bhuvana? Bhuvana Naik.
Sir.
Any doubt?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Darshan Hegde. Darshan Hegde. Darushan.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Shaman. PG Shaman. Are you able to hear me? Can you hear me, Shaman? I'm not able to, so I'm not able to hear you. Switch on your video here. Switch on your video, Shaman. I want to see your face here. Switch on. You are sending message. I'm talking to you and you are sending message.
Lockdown experience.
Shaman. Shaman, if I am able to hear you, I am audible, I think. Switch on your video here. Mr. Shaman. 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 Tejas Bhatt.
Yes, sir.
So switch on your video here once. Yeah. How are you here?
Nice, sir.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಪಾಠ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದಾ? ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಲಿ ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ? Can I ask you question? ಬೇಡ. ಓಕೆ. ಹಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಸ್ಟಡಿ.
ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ.
ನೋಡೋ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್. Okay, so next part we are going to study about purification of copper by electrolysis method, electrolytic refining of copper. Electrolytic refining of copper. Electrolytic refining of copper. So in this concept we are going to study about how purest form of carbon copper is extracted, purest form. So if you want copper in a purest form, it is extracted by electrolysis method. Purest form of copper. See here also we take electrolytic cell, we take electrodes, So we take 3 electrodes. In between these 3 electrodes, so you can observe here. So this is the thick electrode. This is copper electrode. This is thick copper electrode. This is thin copper electrode. This is thick copper electrode. So you can see here in between two thick copper rods, I have drawn a diagram. I have drawn thin copper rods. If you take here one thick copper and here one thick copper. In between that there is a thin copper rod. Means these thin copper rods are connected each other and it is made as a cathode. It is made as cathode. Sorry, cathode. It is made as cathode. So one is connected to the negative terminal, another is connected. See, if you take this thick copper rod, all these thick copper rods are connected and made as anode. If you take. Made as anode. I hope you are getting what I am telling here. This is the electrolytic refining of copper. So copper, if you want in a purest form, we go for this method. Here we take electrodes. So pure electrode and impure electrode. These thick copper rods are impure electrodes. Thick copper rods are impure electrodes. If you take these are thin electrodes, which is called a pure electrodes. And during the electrolytic process, we need one electrolyte. So we take copper sulfate as electrolyte over here. Copper sulfate. And water is available in this. You know that copper sulfate is dissolved in H2O means water is also available here. When the electricity passes over here, this copper sulfate breaks up into copper plus sulfate, and H2O if we take that it breaks up into H2 plus O2. This all reaction happens. We'll go for this one reaction here. So to reaction for say we use to increase the conductivity we use H2SO4 also. H2SO4 also is used a small drop will add up to increase the conductivity. This reaction will happen. Cu plus and SO4 will happen. This reaction happens. See, a concentrate on this ion now. Cu plus being a cation, this start moving towards the cathode. Moving towards the cathode means cathode. Here we made the thin copper rod are made as cathode here. This copper start to depositing on this thin copper rod. The copper cation start depositing. I told you this is the electron rich area. I told you this is electron deficient area. Here, say copper ion means it has donated electron. It takes back the electron and it forms say plus it gets electron. It gets electron. 2 electrons it becomes copper atom. Copper atom is formed. That copper ion goes on depositing on the thin copper. After the electrolysis, what happens is this thick copper rod converts into thin copper rod, and this thin convert to thick copper rod. See here, after the electrolysis, see here. So in between, now after the electrolysis, in between two thin copper rod, there is a thick copper rod. So earlier it was different. Two thick copper rod, one thin copper. Means here all this copper which is present here will be deposited. Means here in the anode side what happens is in the anode side the copper ions are formed. Copper ions are formed from the thick copper rod. Earlier thick copper rod ions are formed. That ions start moving towards the thin copper rod. It goes on moving, and the copper goes on depositing on the thin copper rod. At last, after the complete electrolysis process, the impure copper rod becomes very thin and thick. Pure copper rod becomes very thick. Means because of deposition of copper during the electrolysis process. And after the finishing, they remove this thick copper rod. Means the pure copper rod is removed and it is called as now copper, pure copper. This is about the electrolytic refining of copper. So this is how the copper extracted in purest form. If you have any doubt regarding this, you can just ask now. See, I told you copper. I told you yesterday. I told you gold ornament. Gold is the purest metal. It does not react with any other elements. Here, what happens? When we are making a jewelry, we mix copper to that. For the gold, we mix copper. We tell 18 karat, 22 karat, 24 karat. That how they tell? By mixing of the copper. To mix the copper in the gold, we want the copper in pure form. Impure copper cannot be mixed in gold because it will the valuation of the gold becomes less. Means if impurities are added, gold cannot shine or gold cannot show its nature. That's why copper is added to the gold in a purest form. Why this copper is added to the gold? Because to give ornaments or jewelries are in different shapes. We have to give shape for that. So to provide hardness to the gold, we usually add copper. So for adding the copper in gold, so we use this purest copper. So that's why purest copper is extracted from electrolytic refining of copper. So one more concept is that of lesson, the last concept that we'll go through and we will finish up the class. So if I have any doubt regarding the electrolytic refining of copper, please raise your hands or directly you can ask in the chat box. Whatever you feel easy, you can do. So 57 members were there in SST class, it seems. I don't know what happened in the second session. Very less. So I'll be sending join with same link because the meeting may end now. Join with the same link. Thank you.